Introduction: The myth of the process police. You hear the word operations, and a specific, uninspiring image comes to mind. You see a process person, a bureaucratic administrator in a back office, armed with a clipboard and a red pen. Their job is to enforce the rules, to create spreadsheets, and to be a rigid, inflexible roadblock to the real, creative work of the company. They're the process police. You see yourself as a smart, organized person, but you think, that's not me. I don't want to be the boring person who just manages the paperwork. You've been sold a myth that operations and systems thinking are a low-value, uncreative, and dead-end career path. This is a complete and total misunderstanding of the most powerful and in-demand role in the entire modern business world. Great systems and operations work is not administration. It is architecture. It is not about enforcing old, broken rules. It is about engineering new, elegant, and frictionless systems. A great operations professional is not the process police. They're the chief engineer of the business's growth engine. They're the one who takes a brilliant but chaotic visionary's business and builds the scalable, automated, and unbreakable operating system that allows it to grow without collapsing under its own weight. Welcome to From Zero to Optimized. This is not a boring textbook on corporate bureaucracy. This is a practical, step-by-step roadmap for becoming a high-value, highly paid systems and operations consultant. We will treat your new career not as an administrative chore, but as an architectural project. First, we will demolish the myth of the process police and install the powerful business architect mindset. We will give you the core blueprints for understanding and designing scalable business systems. Next, we will give you the tactical, hands-on playbook for mastering the no-code automation tools that are revolutionizing the business world. You will learn how to diagnose a broken process, how to re-engineer it for maximum efficiency, and how to automate the boring stuff forever. Most importantly, we will guide you through the process of building a powerful portfolio project that will serve as the undeniable proof of your skills. Finally, we will show you how to find, pitch, and land high-value clients, transforming your organizational skills into a thriving and lucrative consulting business. It's time to stop thinking of process as a dirty word. It is the language of scale. The system is learnable. The path begins now. Part 1. The foundation. The architecture of a scalable business. Case File 01. The architect's mindset. You are not a process follower. You are a business architect. Before you document your first workflow, we must perform the most critical identity shift of your new career. The number one reason that people in operational roles are undervalued is that they are operating with the wrong identity. They are a process follower. A process follower is a cog in the machine. Their job is to execute the existing, predefined steps of a workflow. They are praised for their consistency and ability to follow the rules, even if the rules are inefficient or broken. They are a valuable component of the machine, but they are not the one who designed it. You are not here to be a process follower. You are here to be a business architect. This is a non-negotiable and game-changing distinction. A business architect's primary focus is not on following the process. It is on designing the process. Their job is not to be a cog in a machine. Their job is to be the engineer who is constantly observing, optimizing, and rebuilding the machine to make it faster, cheaper, and more efficient. Their primary skill is not compliance. It is critical thinking. This is a shift from a reactive mindset to a proactive one. It is the key to becoming an indispensable, strategic partner to any business leader. The process follower asks, what is the next step in the checklist? The business architect asks, is every step on this checklist actually necessary? Could we automate half of these steps and eliminate the other half? The process follower sees a recurring problem and says, oh, this is broken again. The business architect sees a recurring problem and says, this is a systemic flaw. I'm going to find a root cause and architect a new process that makes this problem impossible to happen again. When you adopt the business architect mindset, your entire value proposition changes. You're no longer the person who does the boring stuff. You're the person who eliminates the boring stuff. Your value is measured in the hours you save, the costs you cut, and the chaos you organize. You are the integrator to the visionary entrepreneur. The visionary is the engine. You are the one who designs the transmission that actually gets the power to the wheels. Case File 02. The anatomy of a system. A jargon-free blueprint of processes, workflows, and SOPs. You're a business architect. But what exactly are you building? The world of operations is filled with a set of simple but often misunderstood terms. To be a credible consultant, you must speak the language. You must understand the architectural anatomy of a well-run business. A business is simply a collection of systems designed to create and deliver value. The three fundamental building blocks of any business operating system are processes, workflows, and SOPs. 1. The process. This is the what. The analogy is the high-level blueprint of the entire house. A process is a high-level, strategic overview of how a major function of the business works. Examples include the new customer acquisition process, the client onboarding process, or the hiring process. 2. The workflow. This is the how. The analogy is the detailed, room-by-room construction plan for one part of the house. A workflow is the specific, step-by-step, tactical sequence of tasks required to complete one part of a larger process. Within the hiring process, you would have a specific interview workflow. 3. The SOP, or standard operating procedure. This is the step-by-step instructions. The analogy is the IKEA-style instruction manual for assembling one piece of furniture. An SOP is the most granular level of documentation. It is a simple, clear, and unambiguous checklist that details the exact steps required to complete one single, repeatable task. An SOP is designed so that a brand new person could follow it and achieve a consistent result. Within the interview workflow, you would have an SOP for how to schedule a candidate interview. The architectural hierarchy is clear. A process is made up of multiple workflows. A workflow is made up of multiple tasks. And a task is documented in a specific SOP. As a business architect, your job is to operate at all three levels. Case File 03. The scalability mandate. The unbreakable laws of a business that can grow without breaking. A business is growing. It has more customers, more revenue, and more employees. This is a good thing, right? Not always. For a poorly architected business, growth is a curse. It is a weight that causes the entire fragile system to collapse. This is a failure of scalability. Scalability is the ability of a system to handle a growing amount of work without a corresponding increase in cost or a decrease in quality. The amateur business owner is so focused on the day-to-day that they never design their systems for scale. The architect's primary obsession is scalability. Every process you design must be measured against one critical question. Will this break if we 10x our business? These are the three unbreakable laws of a scalable system. Law 1. Eliminate the key person dependency. An unscalable system has a critical business process that exists only in the head of one person. Oh, you need a refund? You have to ask Susan. If Susan quits, the process grinds to a halt. A scalable business is run by systems, not by superheroes. You must document every critical workflow. Law 2. Automate or delegate. An unscalable system has the founder or a high-value team member spending significant time on repetitive, low-value tasks. The business's growth is limited by the hours in that person's day. For every task, you must ask a binary question. Can this task be automated by software, or can it be delegated to a lower-cost team member? Law 3. Build a single source of truth. An unscalable system has critical business information scattered across a dozen different places. The team wastes a huge amount of time just trying to find the right information. For every major area of the business, you will architect a single source of truth, a single, centralized location where the entire team can find the most up-to-date and accurate information. By systematically solving for these three variables, you are architecting a resilient and scalable machine. Case File 04. The No-Code Toolbox. Mastering Zapier, Airtable, and the Tools of Modern Operations. You're a business architect. Your job is to re-engineer and automate your clients' broken workflows. 10 years ago, this would have required a team of expensive software developers. Today, a revolution has occurred that has put the power of a senior software engineer into the hands of any smart, logical systems thinker. This is the no-code revolution. No-code tools are a new class of software that allows you to build powerful, custom applications and automations using a simple, visual drag-and-drop interface. The architect knows that mastering a few key no-code tools is the ultimate superpower. This is the essential no-code toolkit. 1. The digital glue, Zapier. Zapier's one and only job is to connect the different cloud-based apps your client uses and make them talk to each other automatically. It is built on a simple trigger and action model. For example, when a new customer buys our product on Shopify, the trigger then automatically add that customer's email to our MailChimp newsletter, the action. 2. The super spreadsheet, Audiobook. Audiobook is what you would get if a spreadsheet and a powerful database had a baby. It looks simple, but each cell can hold rich data like file attachments and links to other records. It is the perfect tool for building a simple, custom single source of truth for any part of business, like a simple CRM or a content calendar. 3. The process documenter, Tango. This tool automates the creation of your SOPs. You install a simple browser extension, click Start, and perform a task. Tango watches you, automatically taking a screenshot of every step and writing a text description of every click. It reduces the time it takes to create a professional SOP from 30 minutes to about 30 seconds. With this simple 3-part no-code toolkit, you're armed with an arsenal that is almost magical in its power. You can now walk into any small business, diagnose their broken workflows, and architect a powerful, automated solution in a matter of days, not months. Part 2. The diagnostic protocol, finding the friction. Case file 05, the process map, a visual blueprint for deconstructing any business workflow. You are on your first discovery call with a new client. You ask them to describe their client onboarding process. The client begins to ramble. It is a chaotic, disorganized, and incomplete description. The amateur consultant tries to make sense of this verbal chaos in their head. The architect knows that their first job is to bring visual clarity to the process. You cannot optimize a system that you cannot see. Your first and most important diagnostic tool is the process map. A process map is a simple, visual flowchart that deconstructs an entire workflow into its individual steps. The very act of creating this map, collaboratively with the client, is often a revelatory experience. For the first time, they will be able to see the hidden complexity and obvious flaws in their own system. You will use a simple, free, online diagramming tool like Miro or Lucidchart to build your process map. The most effective format is the swim lane diagram. Step 1. The actors. You will divide your whiteboard into a series of horizontal swim lanes. Each lane represents a different actor or department involved in the process. For a content creation workflow, the lanes might be the writer, the designer, and the manager. Step 2. The tasks. You will now map out each step of the process as a simple box, placing it in the swim lane of the actor responsible for that task. Step 3. The handoffs. You will connect the boxes with arrows to show the flow of work. The most critical part of the map is the handoff points, where the work crosses from one swim lane to another. These are the most common points of failure in any process. Once the process is mapped out, the problems become obvious. You can now ask diagnostic questions like, why do we do it that way? And how long does this handoff typically take? This will immediately reveal the bottlenecks. The process map is your primary diagnostic instrument. It is the MRI for a business. Case file 06, the bottleneck audit, a system for identifying the single point of failure. You have created your process map. You have a clear, visual blueprint of the client's entire workflow. The amateur consultant, seeing a dozen different small inefficiencies, makes a critical mistake. They try to fix everything at once. This is overwhelming for the client and fails because it lacks focus. The architect knows a fundamental principle of systems thinking called the theory of constraints. This theory states that the total output of any system is determined by its single, tightest bottleneck. Improving any other part of the system is a complete waste of time until you have first widened the bottleneck. Think of it like a highway. If a 5-lane highway narrows to a single lane for 1 mile, the total number of cars that can get through is determined by that single lane. Your one and only job is to fix the bottleneck. Your job as a business architect is to be a professional bottleneck hunter. This is the bottleneck audit blueprint. Step 1. The time and weight analysis. Go back to your process map. You will analyze 2 different types of time. Touch time is the actual amount of time a person is working on a task. Wait time is the amount of time the work is just sitting in a queue waiting for the next person. In almost every business, the wait time is dramatically longer than the touch time. Step 2. The red flag questions. As you review your map, ask a series of diagnostic questions. Where does work pile up the most? Which step is the most frequently complained about? Which step is most dependent on a single hero person? Step 3. The 5 whys root cause analysis. Once you have identified the primary bottleneck, find its root cause. State the problem and then ask why. 5 times, digging deeper with each answer. For example, problem. The manager review step takes 3 days. Why? The manager is too busy. Why? Her review requests get lost in her email. Why? There is no centralized system for tracking review requests. The root cause is the lack of a system, not a slow manager. Step 4. The one thing proposal. Now that you have identified the bottleneck and its root cause, your proposal to the client will be ruthlessly focused. You will propose to fix that one single constraint. Case File 07. The Time and Motion Study. The art of quantifying wasted effort. You have identified the bottleneck. You have a hypothesis about its root cause. But to make a compelling business case for your proposed solution, you need more than just a hypothesis. You need data. You must be able to quantify the problem. A business leader does not make a decision based on a feeling. They make a decision based on a clear return on investment. The time and motion study is a classic industrial engineering technique that you will adapt for the modern digital workplace. It is the simple, powerful act of measuring a process to get an objective, data-driven baseline. This data will be the ammunition for your business case. This is the baseline measurement blueprint. Your mission is to quantify the before state so that you can later prove the value of your after state. Step 1. The direct observation. The goal is to get a real, tangible understanding of the current workflow. You will ask to shadow a team member as they perform the bottleneck process. You will say, I'm trying to get a deep understanding of the current workflow. Would you mind if I just sit with you for 30 minutes and have you walk me through, step by step, exactly how you do it? This is an act of empathy that builds trust and reveals hidden steps. Step 2. The time tracking. The goal is to get an objective measure of the touch time. You will ask a few team members to use a simple time tracking tool like Toggle Track to log the time they spend on specific tasks related to the bottleneck for 1 week. This will give you hard data. Step 3. The cost of waste calculation. Now, you will translate that wasted time into the only language a senior leader truly understands: money. You'll need a rough, average, fully loaded hourly cost for the employees involved. The formula is wasted hours per week times average hourly cost times the number of weeks in a year. This equals the total annual cost of the inefficiency. You can now frame your proposal with this data. My analysis shows that this single bottleneck is costing the company $13,000 per year. My proposed new system will eliminate this waste, providing a return on investment of over 1,000% in its first year. Case File 08. The SOP mandate. How to document a process so it can be delegated or automated. You have diagnosed the problem. You have quantified the cost. You have received the green light from the client to architect a new, optimized workflow. The final step in the diagnostic phase is to create the standard operating procedure, or SOP. An SOP is the final, tangible, and most valuable deliverable of your work as a systems consultant. It is the architectural blueprint for your new, improved process. The amateur consultant might fix a broken process, but they fail to document the new one. This means the team is at risk of reverting back to the old chaotic way of doing things. The architect knows that a process that is not documented is not a real process. The SOP is the tool that makes your improvement permanent, scalable, and delegatable. A great SOP is a masterpiece of clarity and simplicity. Its one and only goal is to be impossible to misunderstand. There are 3 unbreakable laws of a great SOP. Law number 1, the checklist format. Your SOP will be a simple, numbered, step-by-step checklist. Law number 2, the one-verb rule. Every step must start with a clear action-oriented verb, like click, open, or copy. Law number 3, the visual mandate. Your SOP must include screenshots for every critical step, with a simple arrow or a red box drawn on it to highlight the exact button to be clicked. As established in your toolbox, you will not create your SOPs manually. You will use a tool like Tango to automate the process. You will click Start Capture, perform a new workflow yourself one time, and Tango will automatically take screenshots and write down the description for every single click. You will then spend 5 minutes editing the auto-generated text to add any additional context. Your final SOP document will have 3 sections: a header with the title and purpose, the checklist, which is the step-by-step guide from Tango, and an appendices section for FAQs and troubleshooting. By architecting this clear, simple, and visual SOP, you have created the ultimate deliverable. You have created a permanent asset that will continue to provide value to your client long after your project is finished. Part 3, the optimization engine, building the machine. Case file 09, the automation blueprint, a practical guide to connecting apps with Zapier or Make. You have now fully diagnosed a broken manual workflow. You have mapped it, found the bottleneck, quantified the waste, and documented the new, optimized process in a crystal clear SOP. Now it is time to build. It is time to deploy the most powerful weapon in your arsenal, automation. Your SOP has deconstructed the workflow into a series of small, logical, rule-based steps. Many of these steps are the digital equivalent of moving a piece of paper from one desk to another. It is the manual, repetitive work of copying and pasting data between different cloud applications. This is the work you will now eliminate forever. You will use a no-code automation platform to be the digital glue that connects these apps. We will use Zapier as our primary tool. A single, automated workflow in Zapier is called a Zap. Every Zap has a simple, 2-part architecture. First is the trigger, the specific event in your first application that will start the automation. Second is the action, the specific event that Zapier will automatically perform in your second application. Let's automate a new lead workflow. The broken manual workflow is that a new lead fills out a form, an email is sent to a manager, and the manager has to manually copy the info into a CRM, create a task in a project manager, and send a welcome email. This is a slow, error-prone process. This is the automated Zapier architecture. You will build a single, multi-step Zap. The trigger is when a new form submission occurs in the form software. Action step 1 is then create a new deal in HubSpot using the name and email from the form. Action step 2 is, and then create a new task in Asana, assign it to the sales manager, and set the due date. Action step 3 is, and then send a personalized email from Gmail to the new lead using a pre-written template. You have just built a masterpiece of operational efficiency. You have taken a 15-minute manual process and transformed it into an instant, automated, and error-free system. You're not just organizing work, you are eliminating it. Case file 10, the single source of truth, architecting a central hub in Airtable or Notion. Your client's business is in a state of information chaos. The marketing team tracks their content calendar in a Google Sheet. The sales team tracks their leads in a separate, messy Excel file. The project manager tracks the new website build in Asana. The information is scattered. No one has a single, clear view of what is happening. This is a massive drag on efficiency and a cause of strategic misalignment. The amateur consultant might try to fix each spreadsheet individually. The architect knows that the root cause is the lack of a single source of truth. Your mission is to architect a simple, beautiful, and centralized command center for the entire business. Your primary weapon for this task will be a no-code database tool like Audiobook or Notion. These tools are the perfect hybrid of a spreadsheet simplicity and a database's power. This is the Business OS blueprint. Your goal is to build a simple business operating system for your client. This will be a single, shared workspace. For a common use case, let's build a content and sales hub. Step 1. The content calendar base. In Audiobook, you will create a new base. You will create one table called content. Each row will be a single piece of content. The columns, or fields, will be the key pieces of information, like content title, status, publish date, and author. Audiobook can instantly visualize this table as a Kanban board, giving the team a clear overview of the content pipeline. Step 2. The sales CRM base. In the same Audiobook base, you will create a second table called leads. Each row will be a single sales lead. The columns will be lead name, company, status, deal value, and next action date. Step 3. The magic. This is the superpower of a tool like Audiobook. You can link the records between your two tables. In your leads table, you will create a new column and link it to your content table. Now, when a new lead comes in, you can ask them how they heard about you. If they say they read a specific blog post, you can link that lead's record in your CRM to the specific blog post record in your content calendar. For the first time, the client can now clearly and visually see which specific pieces of content are generating their most valuable sales leads. This is $1 million insight. Case File 11. The project management machine. Engineering a flawless workflow in Asana or ClickUp. Your client's business is in a state of project chaos. Tasks are being assigned in Slack. Deadlines are being missed. No one is quite sure who is responsible for what. The founder is a visionary with 100 brilliant ideas, but they have no system for turning those ideas into completed projects. As an operations architect, your job is to install that system. You will bring order, clarity, and accountability to their project workflow. Your primary tool for this will be a dedicated project management platform like Asana or ClickUp. Your value is not in your ability to use the tool, but in your ability to architect a simple, powerful, and repeatable workflow within it. The secret to scalable project management is the template. Most businesses run the same types of projects over and over again. Your superpower will be your ability to deconstruct these recurring projects into a flawless, step-by-step template inside their PM tool. Let's take a common project for a creative client, architecting the new YouTube video workflow. Step 1. The deconstruction. You will first perform a work breakdown structure. You will list out every single granular task that goes into producing one video from start to finish. Step 2. The template architecture in Asana. You will now build this workflow as a new project template. You will use Asana sections to represent the major phases: pre-production, production, post-production, and distribution. Within each section, you will create a series of tasks. Each task will have a clear, verb-based title, one single assignee, and a relative due date. For example, the write the script task can be set to be due 3 days after the project starts. You will also use dependencies to link the tasks together. The edit the video task will be dependent on the film the video task. Step 3. The subtask checklists. For more complex tasks, you will create a detailed subtask checklist within the main task. Now, the magic happens. The next time the client wants to start a new video, they will simply create a project from your template. Instantly, the entire perfectly architected project plan will be created. You have given your client a scalable, repeatable, and error-proof system. Case File 12. The Metrics Dashboard. A system for proving the ROI of your new process. You have done it. You have architected a new, streamlined, and partially automated workflow for your client. You have built them a beautiful single source of truth and an elegant project management machine. The system is objectively better. You can feel it. The team feels it. But the amateur consultant stops here. They have done the work, but they fail to perform the final, most critical step, proving the value of that work with hard, objective data. The architect knows that their job is not just to improve the system, but to measure the improvement. You must close the loop that you started in the diagnostic phase. You have already quantified the before state. Now, you must quantify the after state. This is how you prove your return on investment. This is the before and after dashboard blueprint. Your final deliverable will be a simple, one-page metrics dashboard. Its job is to tell a powerful, data-driven story of transformation. Step 1. Revisit your baseline metrics. You will go back to the data you gathered in your time and motion study. This was your before picture. For example, your baseline metrics might be: average time to produce one YouTube video was 15 hours. Number of missed deadlines was 4 per month. Step 2. Measure the after state. After your new system has been running for 3 to 4 weeks, you will now measure the exact same metrics again, using data from your new, organized Asana project. Your after metrics might be: average time to produce a video is now 8 hours. Number of missed deadlines is now 0. Step 3. Architect the dashboard. You will now present this data in a simple, dramatic before and after table. You will show the metric, the before number, the after number, and the percentage improvement. You will also include a financial impact summary. For example, the new system has reclaimed approximately 28 hours of team time per month. At an average loaded cost of $75 per hour, this represents a monthly cost saving of $2,100 or an annualized ROI of over $25,000. The final step is to present this dashboard to your client. When they see the undeniable, quantified proof of the value you have created, they will be thrilled. This is the moment to ask for a testimonial. Part 4. The Career Engine. From Organizer to Operations Pro. Case File 13. The Portfolio of One Project, Architecting a Systems Overhaul for a Fictional Business. You are now a fully equipped business architect. You have the mindset, the diagnostic protocols, and the no-code toolkit to solve real business problems. But you are facing the classic freelancer's chicken and egg dilemma. To land a high-value client, you need a case study, but to get a case study, you need a client. The architect does not wait for this opportunity. They manufacture it. You will create your own portfolio of one. A comprehensive, professional case study for a fictional business. This will become the centerpiece of your professional website. This is the fictional client blueprint. Step 1. Invent your ideal client. You will invent a simple, relatable small business. For example, Oakwood Creative, a small, 5-person marketing agency. The owner is Susan, the visionary founder. Her pain point is that her agency's internal operations are a chaotic mess. They're constantly missing deadlines, and she is spending all her time fighting fires. Step 2. Execute the full zero-to-ready protocol. You will now perform a full end-to-end systems overhaul for your fictional client. You will create the actual deliverables that will become the visual assets for your case study. For the diagnostic phase, you will create a beautiful process map in Miro, showcasing their broken client onboarding workflow. You will write a short bottleneck audit. For the optimization phase, you will document a new process in a professional SOP. You will build out a client onboarding project template in Asana. You will build a multi-step Zapier automation. And you will build a simple client directory database in Audiobook. Step 3. Write the case study. You will now assemble all of these visual assets into a stunning one-page case study on your portfolio website. The headline will be Case Study: Architecting a Scalable Operating System for a Creative Agency. You will describe the problem. You will showcase your process map. You will showcase screenshots of your elegant Asana template and Audiobook base. And you will present your metrics dashboard with the projected results, like reduced client onboarding time from 10 manual hours to 1 automated hour. Case File 14. The results first resume. Translating organized things into drove 30% efficiency gains. You are now a proven business architect. You have a powerful, comprehensive case study. Now, you must translate these new, high-value capabilities into the specific, keyword-driven language of the modern resume. The amateur, when describing their operational skills, uses weak, passive, and task-based language. Responsible for organizing files. This signals a low-level, administrative mindset. The architect does not describe their tasks. They quantify their results. They know a hiring manager is not hiring them to organize things. They are hiring them to save money, reduce waste, and increase efficiency. This is the quantified impact resume blueprint. Section 1 is the header and links. It must include clickable links to your LinkedIn profile and your portfolio website, where your case study lives. Section 2 is the professional summary. This is a keyword-rich summary that positions you as a high-value, strategic operator. For example, systems and operations professional with a proven ability to analyze, re-engineer, and automate complex business workflows. Section 3 is skills. This is a dense, scannable, keyword-optimized list. Include core competencies like business process mapping and workflow automation, and software and platforms like Zapier, Audiobook, and Asana. Section 4 is projects. This is the main event. You will showcase your portfolio of one, as if it were a real consulting engagement. You will use bulleted achievements, following the PAR method: problem, action, result. For example, P. Diagnosed critical inefficiencies in a marketing agency's workflows. A. Architected a new business operating system using Audiobook and Zapier. R. The new system reduced client onboarding time by an estimated 80%. Section 5 is professional experience. You will reframe your past, non-operations jobs to highlight your systems thinking. Instead of manage the office calendar, say designed and implemented a new, centralized scheduling system that reduced meeting conflicts by 100%. Case File 15. The systems audit pitch. How to sell a high-value diagnostic to your first client. You are ready to land your first client. Your portfolio is a masterpiece of strategic thinking. The amateur consultant, in this position, makes a critical sales mistake. They try to sell their solution. They send a cold email that says, "I can build you a Zapier automation." The client, who may not even know what Zapier is confused. They don't want to buy a Zapier automation. The architect knows that you must first sell the problem before you can sell the solution. You will not try to sell a big, complex systems overhaul project in a single cold email. You will sell a small, low-risk, and incredibly high-value front-end offer. This offer is the systems audit. The systems audit is a small, paid, standalone project. It is your foot in the door. The offer is this: for a flat fee, for example $500 to $1,000, you will conduct a full deep dive diagnostic of one specific, painful area of the client's business. The deliverable will be a simple 3 to 5 page roadmap to optimization document. This will include your process map of their current broken workflow, your bottleneck analysis, and a clear, step-by-step list of the exact automations and system improvements you recommend. This is a masterful sales strategy. It is a low-risk, no-brainer offer for the client. They are not committing to a massive, expensive project. They're simply paying a small fee to have an expert come in and give them a professional diagnosis. This is the audit pitch script. You will find your ideal client and send a value-first email. The subject line will be a quick idea about your client onboarding process. The body will have a personalized compliment, an empathy statement, and then the audit offer. I specialize in helping businesses solve this exact problem. I offer a simple, flat-fee systems audit. For a one-time fee of $750, I will do a deep dive analysis of your entire client onboarding workflow and deliver a complete roadmap to optimization. Finally, a low-pressure close. The beauty of this is that the deliverable of your systems audit, the roadmap to optimization, is the perfect sales proposal for the much larger implementation project. You have been paid to create your own proposal. Case File 16, the retainer model, graduating from a one-off project to a fractional COO. You have successfully completed your first few systems audit and implementation projects. Your clients are thrilled. You have saved them dozens of hours and made their businesses run more smoothly. The amateur consultant at this point says goodbye and goes off in search of the next one-time project. They are trapped in the feast or famine cycle of project-based work. The architect knows that a successful project is not the end of a relationship. It is the beginning. Your happiest clients are the most valuable asset you have. Your goal now is to graduate from a one-time project consultant to a long-term, high-value fractional COO who works with them on a monthly retainer. A fractional COO, or Chief Operating Officer, is a part-time, strategic partner who is responsible for the ongoing health and optimization of the client's entire business operating system. At the end of your successful implementation project, during your metrics dashboard debriefing, you will make your proposal. The script is, "I'm so thrilled with the results we've achieved on the onboarding system." As your business continues to grow, these kinds of operational bottlenecks will constantly be appearing in new places. To help you stay ahead of that, I offer a fractional COO retainer for a few of my best clients. Then the value proposition: for a flat monthly fee, I would effectively become your part-time head of operations. I would spend 5 to 10 hours a week proactively monitoring all of your key business systems, identifying new bottlenecks, building new automations, and providing you with a monthly state of the systems report. This would completely take the back end of the business off of your plate. The price will be a high-value, monthly retainer, for example, $2,000 to $5,000 or more per month. This is the ultimate evolution of your business model. For you, it creates predictable, recurring revenue. For the client, it gives them the strategic expertise of a full-time COO at a fraction of the cost. You are no longer just a freelancer. You are a true business architect, an integral part of your client's long-term growth and success. Conclusion: you are the architect of scale. You began this roadmap with a myth, the myth of the process police, the belief that systems and operations were a boring, bureaucratic, and low-value career path. You saw a world of spreadsheets and checklists, and you may have felt that it was not a place for a creative, strategic thinker. That myth has now been fully deconstructed and replaced with an engineered reality. You now know that great operations work is not administration. It is architecture. It is not about following the rules. It is about designing the rules. You're not a process follower. You're a business architect. You have deconstructed the anatomy of a scalable business, mastering the blueprints of processes, workflows, and SOPs. You have filled your no-code toolkit with the most powerful and transformative tools in the modern business world, from the automation engine of Zapier to the database power of Audiobook. Most importantly, you have moved beyond theory. You have a complete, end-to-end protocol for diagnosing any broken business process, for quantifying its cost, and for engineering a new, streamlined, and automated solution. You have the blueprint for building a powerful portfolio, for pitching high-value clients, and for transforming a one-time project into a lucrative, long-term retainer. You do not just have organizational skills. You have a complete business plan for a high-impact consulting career. The path from here is one of execution. It is the work of finding the chaos and bringing order to it. Your ability to see a messy, inefficient process and to envision a simple, elegant, and automated system is not just a skill. It is a superpower. You're no longer just a participant in a business. You are the engineer of its growth engine. You are the one who eliminates friction. You are the architect of scale. Now go build. Did this roadmap help you? Your journey is just beginning, but your feedback is crucial. If this book provided you with real-world value, the single best way to support this mission is to leave an honest review on Amazon. More by Gardinski. Your roadmap continues. You've learned to see the business as a system. Now, gain the skills to build the automated tools and manage the projects that bring those systems to life. Book recommendations include From Zero to Automated and From Zero to Manager.